Hi, everybody, and welcome to Smackdown review and results of September 18th of 2018. Were you excited about Smackdown? Did you get any enjoyment out of it? Did you get any good matches that you got hyped up about? Were you intrigued from beginning to end? Or were you just plain fucking sick of it at a certain point and then got happy at the end? Well, that pretty much happened to me. This show was kind of up and down, in between. It was alright. I think the second hour is a hell of a lot better than the first hour. Let's just put it that way. If you missed the first hour, you didn't miss much. Second hour, you missed a lot. Missed 2 good matches and a very good ending to the show with Becky Lynch celebrating as the new SmackDown Women's Champion. So, let's get into the results, information that happened, and so on. Okay? So, first thing we start off with is the fucking Miz. The Miz introduced his wife, Maurice. Goes on to say that Maurice will no longer be on SmackDown or WWE programming. Fantastic! Get rid of the woman. Let her be a mom, and you be the wrestler providing for your family. Because she can't wrestle for shit. She's worse than Brie Bella, even though they said that Brie Bella was a worse competitor than Maurice. Yeah, right. Sure. I gotta say one thing. Miz at one point was a very, very intriguing character. He was fun to listen to. He got you up on... He got your intrigue when he spoke. Ever since he was moved back over to SmackDown, he has been a complete and utter load of bullshit. Really. I haven't not liked a single thing this guy has done. What he has been doing lately is downright pitiful. His comments, his promos, everything he did, he's done so far, has been pretty much nap-worthy. You could take a nap through his bullshit. It's the same rhetoric, same bullshit. Saying he's superior saying he's superior compared to Daniel Bryan. We all know that's a load of shit. They've already announced officially, even though it's to everyone's knowledge that it was going to happen, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, one-on-one at Super Showdown on October 6th, for a number 1 contender to face the WWE Champion after Super Showdown. Fantastic. Hope Daniel Bryan wins, Samoa Joe wins the WWE Championship, finally move on with a new champion, a new challenger, and get some new fresh faces in the main event spots. Miz, on the other hand, bored the living shit out of me. Maurice accidentally got hit by Daniel Bryan by drop kicking Miz into his wife. She play act, pretend that there was something wrong, and there was nothing wrong at all. Then finally, he tries to sneak attack Daniel Bryan. The Miz ends up hitting his wife by accident, knocking her off the apron and looking like she sprained her ankle. Holy fucking shit, what a load of crap for the first 10-15 minutes of the show. What boredom. Alright, so scrolling through all this, we then had Kofi Kingston versus Cesaro. We know that Kofi Kingston's facing Cesaro, or the New Day's facing The Bar for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Why are The Bar getting an opportunity for the SmackDown Tag Team titles when they originally were competing for the number 1 contendership against fucking Rusev and Aiden English, and they end up losing anyway, but now they're getting a title shot opportunity anyway. So what you're telling me is even if you lose, you still get a WWE SmackDown Tag Team title opportunity. Maybe because they don't have a fucking tag team division on SmackDown as well as they don't on Raw. See, I'm starting to think. I'm starting to believe, and there was a bit of a hint, that the brand split may be ending. Reason why is because I noticed something about the ring ropes tonight on SmackDown. They were white. Before the brand split occurred, the ropes on Raw and SmackDown were white. I am praying to God himself that maybe, just maybe, we get rid of the brand split bullshit, acting as if there's competition between Raw and SmackDown. They're taking each other by the gullet and really taking each other to school. I mean, if you watch back in 2002 when they had Raw versus SmackDown going on with Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon, that was real competition. That was actual them interacting with one another throughout that beginning part of the year of 2002, from June all the way up to the end of the year. There was actual competition. They were trying to prove who had the better main event on each and every pay-per-view. They stole superstars from each other's brands, and they shook up the roster each and every week or each and every month. We saw a roster change of some kind. Not a major difference, but some superstars, some big names, some small names here and there were dabbled around back and forth. Now, why can't we get that with the brand split? Real simple. There is no competition. There is nothing going on here between these two brands. What is the point of having the brand split anyway? I used to be a big fan of the brand split. But with AJ Styles being one of the best wrestlers right now and one of the better heavyweight champions, he can't even get a fucking main event spot on a pay-per-view because Raw is the superior brand. Well, then if Raw is the superior brand, SmackDown don't have a chance in hell to get a main event spot on a pay-per-view if it's joint. Then what the hell's the point of having a brand split? That's devaluing a fucking title that is the real WWE Championship, the legit title that's been around for a very long time following the previous WWE Championships. And you're going ahead and you're diminishing that title, making it a fucking mid-card belt between two guys like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Not to be in a main event spot on any pay-per-view, not at least one time? Come on, there's something wrong here. So, am I favoring the brand split? No, I do not. Because back in the day when they originally did the brand split, both the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title were tossed back and forth as the main event title on each and every joint pay-per-view. You sometimes saw the World Heavyweight title on the main event. You sometimes saw the WWE title from SmackDown on the main event, or vice versa, whichever brand they were on. But regardless, they always gave the World title and WWE title opportunities to be the main event on each and every pay-per-view, whether it was jointed or not. So, that's my overall opinion on the brand split at this point. They do not give SmackDown's world title an opportunity to main event the pay-per-view shows, so what's the fucking point of a brand split if you can't give a world title opportunity to the other brand? I don't see the point in it. You're not giving any real competition. You're making Raw the superior brand, so get over your fucking selves. Put the Universal title and Roman Reigns in the mid-card part of the show. Give the WWE SmackDown World title an opportunity to get the main event spot. I think that would make proper sense, but hey, I'm just a guy behind a camera talking my opinion like anybody's listening anyway. So who gives a fuck? Anyway, Kofi Kingston, Cesaro, they go one-on-one. The match was okay. It wasn't all that big of a deal. Cesaro, though, did pick up the victory. Will Cesaro and Sheamus pick up the victory for the SmackDown Tag Team titles is yet to be seen. Do I believe that's going to happen? Of course not. Why would they give the Bar the titles? Why does the New Day not drop the titles? Says Rusev and Aiden English. It's beyond me. There was a backstage segment with Rusev, Lana, and Aiden English. Rusev going ahead and asking Aiden English to not be part of the United States Championship matchup that he's about to have with Shinsuke Nakamura, which, by the way, Shinsuke Nakamura has been on and off TV for quite a while since he won the United States title from Jeff Hardy. So, woo, what the fucking do? Nothing big there. But Rusev goes on to tell Aiden English to stay behind. He doesn't want him out there. He doesn't believe that they're good enough to be a tag team anymore. It's time for them to both kind of move on, do their own separate thing, in a sense. But Aiden English took offense to that. He got upset. He looked at somebody that was walking by, talked to them, kind of venting his frustrations over to the guy that came around. And he said, look, I'm fucking pissed. Did you just hear what Rusev just said? Did you hear what Lana's telling me? I'm not good enough? I'm a weak link to this team? Lana's a jerk-off. She's, ever since she came into this group, she's made the Rusev Day deal a fucking horrible situation. And I'm the one who created the Rusev Day gimmick. Without me, there wouldn't be no Lana and Rusev Day type deal. Slogan. Gimmick. It's because of me that something happened and he struck a chord with the audience and so on and so forth. He didn't say those exact words, but you get what I'm saying. He's the one who created the idea of Rusev Day, which, bottom line, that's the truth. He did. Rusev happens to be the more talented wrestler between the two, so of course, he's going to be the guy to get the name Rusev Day instead of Aiden English. He just happened to be the guy to come up with the creative idea. At least from our vantage point and from what we saw when this all started earlier this year. So, Lana hears all of this nonsense that came out of Aiden English's mouth, and she kind of looked at him and goes, "What did you just say?" And she went on to sound like she was in elementary school, as we've noticed last night. Braun Strowman sounding like he's in elementary school as well, saying this sucks, that sucks, you suck, and you suck. So we get Lana going ahead and saying, I'm going to tell Rusev. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to tell Rusev? I was expecting her to slap him in the fucking face. Not run to Rusev and tell him, like, as if they're in elementary school, going, oh, look what he just said about you. He was being mean. What the fuck kind of insane bullshit is this? Are these adults or are these children? I'm getting confused. I thought they were adults, but excuse me, please wake me up from the coma I'm in. Like, what the hell am I watching? This is insane. I mean, we had some good moments on SmackDown, but we had some pretty fucked up, retarded, raw bullshit leaking out on SmackDown tonight. It was outrageous. I'm sitting there going, why would she go run to Rusev to tell him exactly what he said? Why wouldn't she slap him across the face for disrespecting her and her husband? Like, what the fuck? This is fucking ridiculous. Then the neat part is, they're going out to do the match, and Rusev is getting ready to be told by Lana about this, but Rusev stops her and tells her, look, I whatever you need to tell me after the match. I need to get focused on this match. I need to get this title win and walk away victorious, which is, logical. He doesn't need no distraction or any problems going into a match and distracting him mentally. He needs to be completely and 100% focused on the task at hand, which is trying to win the United States title for the 50 millionth fucking time. Jesus Christ, how many fucking title opportunities can this guy get and not win at least one time? My God, I feel sorry for Rusev. And Aiden English as well. They should have won the tag team titles of the United States title as a faction. Something, anything, what the fuck? I mean, come on, man. How the hell can you go ahead and not give these guys some sort of title, whether it's single or tag team like, and if it's singles, make Aiden English his manager or something? Like, what in the hell is wrong with this company? Rusev is more deserving to be a fucking champion. He's getting a worse screw job burial than Dolph Ziggler has ever had. At least Dolph Ziggler got a world title. Shit. And he got a couple of United States Championship wins that were actually meaningful. Rusev has only had one, and then since John Cena in 2015, and I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, John Cena buried Rusev. No, Rusev didn't get buried by John Cena. Get the fuck out of here. Bottom line is, Rusev should have won this fucking title. Here's why. Shinsuke Nakamura hasn't been appearing consistently on Smackdown. It's given. You haven't seen him a lot for whatever the reason. I'm not quite sure. There's probably some backstage news on that, and I just haven't found out about it yet. Point being, Rusev and Aiden English have not been able to win anything as a team, as a single competition with Aiden English on the outside. Nothing. Now, to me, this seems like a Booker T Goldust type situation. Alright? I mean, now, Aiden English ain't anything like Goldust. He ain't a walking, colored up freak like Goldust was. But still, he's a opera type, gimmick type character that, you know, is trying to help Rusev succeed in his career and being a friend to him. Well, that kind of went south after tonight. But point being is they should have had Rusev win the damn championship. This also could have led to different paths to a storyline that they could have worked with. They could have went with Rusev getting turned by Aiden English so that Lana doesn't spill the beans on Aiden English altogether. Or they could have made Lana somewhat of a heel-like type character, eventually turning Rusev into a heel, which I think that probably would work, giving sympathy to Aiden English, because she could blackmail him in a sense of, you go ahead and you fuck up, I'm gonna tell Rusev. And she becomes this mean, conniving bitch who eventually gets Rusev to turn heel on Aiden English anyway. And they could rival over the U.S. Championship after that. Or vice versa. Have Rusev win, Aiden English becomes the heel, and then boom. You have those two go ahead, and they rival over the title. I think the other idea I just came up with getting full-on sympathy towards Aiden English would probably help him out a lot more than making him the bad guy. Because, quite frank with you, he is trying his damnedest to help Rusev succeed in his career because he considers him to be a good friend and someone that he has grown to like and actually get known in the WWE with. So, you would want to think that they want to make Aiden English actually the face instead of the heel because of gaining sympathy. The man has been trying his damnedest to help get them to win tag team titles, to help him win singles matches on his own, all kinds of different stuff, and he's been unsuccessful. It's very similar to Goldust in a very similar way. So, I just think that would have been probably the best way to go. Making Lana become a bitch. making Rusev become an asshole again, and eventually giving Aiden English an opportunity to win the United States Championship and actually hold on to a title for the first time in his career on his own. This deal with him turning on Rusev at the end of the match, Lana never telling Rusev about it, and all that jazz, and Rusev on top of it not winning the damn title to begin with, made things even worse. Rusev not even winning the title is the biggest problem to all of this, because they're going to have nothing to rival over. There's nothing going to happen here. It's just going to be these two guys rivaling it out. Aiden English a bad guy, Rusev the good guy. We still got Rusev Day bullshit going on, but without Aiden English coming out saying, it's Rusev Day, that bullshit, like, people eat it up and stuff. But the thing is, there's nothing they're rivaling over. They have nothing to compete over. They're just competing over a fucking frustrated Aiden English for feeling like he's being mistreated by these two people, and saying some shit that he just maybe regrets saying because he was pissed off. But at the same time, they make Rusev lose in such a fucked up way too. Aiden English gets on top of the rope. Rusev seemed to have control of the match. He climbs up on the rope with the microphone in his hand. He says, Rusev crush! And Rusev's just like a fucking idiot going, what are you doing? What's going on? Why are you doing this to me? Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's just saying and hyping you up to fucking put him in the accolade to win the damn match. So, not to mention, did they also go ahead and fuck Rusev out of another title, they also made him a dumbass on top of it. Good job, WWE. You're doing fantastic work on Rusev, and you're helping a superstar like Aiden English maybe go somewhere with his career instead of being a fucking lackey to Rusev. Good job, WWE. You're doing a great job producing more and more superstars as the days go on. You're fucking retarded. But that's all I have to say on that. That's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. Alright. So, just going over the match itself, it wasn't a bad match. I liked it, but the ending was just stupid as fuck, making Rusev look like an idiot. Aiden English once again screwing over Rusev in the sense, it just made absolutely no sense. It looked like a complete fucking screwjob fest at the end of the day, and it was just garbage. So we then get not Aiden English, so we've already discussed that. AJ Styles versus Andre Cien Almas. Now, every time these guys get in the ring, it's great quality wrestling. There's no doubt about it. These two guys, if you put them on a pay-per-view SK type matchup, you will get a 5-star classic. They're on Smackdown producing a very decent show for you guys and to watch. And I'll tell you that the work that these two guys do together is unbelievable. I actually really enjoyed watching this, and quite frank with you guys, I don't understand what the fuck WWE's giving us free opportunities to watch this on just Smackdown. Smackdown! Of all places, like Raw, why the fuck would you give us that? I mean, come on. Give Aiden English. My mind's on fucking Aiden English. I don't know why. Why don't they give Aiden Cien Almas an opportunity to wrestle against a mid-card wrestler like himself? You know, maybe somebody of some kind of... Somebody hasn't wrestled before yet. You know, something like that. I mean, Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger ain't doing fucking nothing. Hell, you can even have our truth face Andre Cien Almas. Fuck, our truth got a really good victory and so forth. So, that could have been something they could have went with. Not AJ Styles, but did they give us a good quality work that these two guys put together for 30 minutes? Yes. It did take up a lot of time, and it was good wrestling quality. But it wasn't really necessary to happen when it was on SmackDown. They could have left this for a pay-per-view type matchup. So whatever the case is what it is. So what the fuck are you going to do? That's all I have to say on that match. But AJ Styles picks up the victory. Samoa Joe comes after the matchup. And another thing, why would you have Andre Cien lose again? Why not make him win by a screwjob finish with Samoa Joe's distraction? He gets the victory. AJ Styles lose, but not in a terrible fashion because it was not a clean finish. So why not? AJ's not going to lose anything by doing that. He's not losing the WWE title. And on top of it, it's giving more friction towards the freaking matchup that Samoa Joe and AJ Styles is having with each other at Super Showdown. I don't get it. Another thing I don't understand. I mentioned this on my Hell in a Cell review. And I was hoping that they would do a submission match, no holds barred, finish type matchup. Submission, no holds barred, no rules. You could use any kind of weapon you want, and it's also submission. And that's the only way you can win. The reason why I say that is because there's pinfall submissions in a no holds barred or no DQ match. The same situation can happen again. Now, why would they go about leaving that opportunity to happen again and repeat itself? Why not go ahead and make it a submission match? The only way you can win is by submission. And there's no holds barred. Why not? It makes more sense. It's not as insulting because the same thing can fucking happen again, as I just mentioned. Why not do that? But they can't do that. They can't think because they don't want to. They can't think because they're not creative. Or they just don't give a fuck. And they're just like, hey, we had a singles match. Let's up the ante and make it a no DQ match. Make sense of it, you fucking nincompoops. Make sense. A no holds barred submission match makes sense. Samoa Joe not demanding a submission match would make more sense. But him not even asking for that is beyond insanity. I don't understand. You won the match by submission. The referee just couldn't see it by technical issues where he was sitting. He was sitting right where your shoulders were pinned. That's what he was focused on, but he couldn't see what AJ Styles was doing on the other side. So AJ Styles was smart enough to realize that, hey, if I want to walk out of this alive and still be the WWE champion, I better go ahead and if I'm going to tap out and, make Samoa Joe think that he won, I'm going to do it where the referee can't see it. There you go. Smart move by AJ Styles. It's a good way to survive out of the match on top of it. But still, this was the stupidest thing I have ever seen at a storyline telling. You don't jump the ante to a pinfall submission match where there's no DQ. Unless you're going to just make it a submission match altogether. So, that to me makes no sense. And I'm sure we're going to get another fucking bullshit ending so we can have the final matchup to end at Crown Jewel, which I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. It ain't even going to be the main event. Never is the WWE title going to be the main event. Not ever again, because it's on Smackdown while the Universal title is on Raw. Makes all perfect sense in the world, right? Sure. I understand I'm complaining a lot. This show was decent. I'm not going to say it was crap, but there's just a lot of logical gaps that are not being addressed. And they did a horrible job doing this, especially AJ and Samoa Joe. I flat out, right from the get-go, said, do not do a no-holds-barred. Submission match with no-holds-barred, that's fine. But a pinfall opportunity with submission, no fucking way. Bullshit. Billy Kay versus Asuka, I skipped that bullshit. That was crap. Didn't really give a flying fuck about that. And then we had the championship ceremony with Becky Lynch. This was a very good ending to the show. If you're not going to have AJ Styles and Andre Cien be the one that ends the show with the main event match, you want to do this segment, I agree with that. I have no beefs with that whatsoever. The way they ended it was perfect. I gotta say, whether Becky Lynch is a bad guy, good guy, I don't give a fuck what she is. She's playing a fucking terrific role. She's got the attitude of a Stone Cold Steve Austin, as people have been saying on YouTube. And she's playing it to a fucking T. Not to mention, she is a lot better playing this anti-hero type gimmick than playing the go-lucky, happy face, grin on her face, and going nowhere with her career. Because that's basically what she did. Once she embraced her, mean side, she doesn't cheat to win. That's the neat part about her. That's what you can look at her as, someone that you could say, hey, she's not a real heel. She doesn't do heel-like tactics. She actually faces you in the middle of the match and beats you cleanly. That's what she did to Charlotte. There was no screwjob finish. There was no cheating involved by Becky Lynch. She just beat her, plain and simple. And that's what they need to do at the Super Showdown. They need to make Becky Lynch retain the championship. But I know what they're going to do. We all know what they're going to do. They're going to play hot potato with that fucking title till Evolution. And Evolution, Becky Lynch ain't getting shit. Becky Lynch is going to lose the title at Super Showdown. She's going to then lose to Charlotte. And that's it. And then Becky Lynch can go right back to fucking Hellsville. Or they'll have Becky Lynch retain the title at Super Showdown and then have her lose to Charlotte at Evolution. Whatever the case may be, at the end of the day at Evolution, Charlotte's still going to be the fucking champion, which is a load of freaking bullshit. That's all I got to say on that subject. The whole thing between these two is very intriguing. Regardless of what I believe is going to happen by Evolution time, it's very intriguing and very fun to watch. Charlotte, you can feel sympathy for, but at the same time, how can you feel sympathetic for this person? When they first started this rivalry 2 years ago, they were best of friends. And what did Charlotte do? She beat her fucking friend to a pulp. No reason at all. She just turned her back on her best friend, turned her back on Sasha Banks, and Charlotte went into a rivalry with Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch could never get the fucking title off of Charlotte going into WrestleMania all the way up to the actual WrestleMania 32 pay-per-view. So, how can I, me personally, or anyone else as the audience, can feel sympathy for Charlotte? Charlotte has been given everything. Charlotte has been in main event matches for the women's division. She has won multiple world titles for the women's division. Becky Lynch had her first time ever opportunity one-on-one for the last 2 years, and finally, after being in obscurity and not being even acknowledged in the main roster on Smackdown, she was given an opportunity, and then we add on more to this bullshit. Charlotte gets an opportunity for the women's championship. For what? She had 2 opportunities against Carmella, and she lost both times. Whether she lost by screwjob or whatever, she lost. She got a rematch after she was screwed out of the title, and she lost. Plain and simple, nothing to be said. So bottom line is, Becky Lynch shouldn't be looked at as a heel. She should be looked at as a sour, angry person, but not as a heel. She is not discriminating against the audience anymore. She made that one comment when she first did that promo, and they've digressed away from that, and they've strictly made the nasty comments between her and Charlotte. That's it. She has not said any mean things about the audience anymore since then. So, to look at her as a heel, I don't particularly see that. But at the same time, I get where WWE is trying to go with it. But you can't give me an idea to feel sorry for this woman, for Charlotte. There's nothing to feel sorry about. She went ahead and snuck behind her best friend, while her best friend had an opportunity to fucking win the damn match anyway, and she got fucked over because her friend wanted to win the damn title. You fuck your best friend over behind her back, but yet you're saying you're her best friend? No, you don't do that. TNA did something similar to this. Sting actually, there was one time in TNA back in 2009, AJ Styles, Matt Morgan, Kurt Angle was the champion going in, and Sting in a no-surrender pay-per-view fatal four-way match. Sting had an opportunity of a lifetime to win for the 5,000th time the World Heavyweight title in TNA, and he allowed AJ Styles to get the victory. Why? Because he felt he deserved it. He stepped back from himself, and he let AJ Styles win. And then at the end of the day, AJ Styles felt, hey man, you didn't have to do any of that. You could have done whatever you had to do to win. That's what we were there to do. But, you know, Sting was a nice, caring individual who wanted to see someone else succeed besides himself. That's what the whole Sting characteristic was about. Trying to uplift other superstars and make them into main eventers like he once was. So, AJ Styles gives Sting an opportunity one-on-one, since he was nice enough to give him that opportunity to pick up the victory and walk away champion. He gave him a one-on-one shot, and he actually beat Sting in that matchup to begin with. So that's how they did that. They could have done something very similar with Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Have Becky Lynch win the fucking match. Charlotte goes ahead, shakes her hand, and we walk away with that in mind. Boom, done. We have a one-on-one match. Becky Lynch wins. Charlotte goes into doing something else, and Becky Lynch gets to remain at the top of the game. Instead, we're not getting that. We are going to see Charlotte win that title back eventually. This was just a small glimpse into some kind of happy medium for the WWE audience, but in reality, they don't see Charlotte as somebody that they should look at as a face or have sympathy for. There is no reason to have sympathy. She's the fucking the daughter of Ric Flair. Excuse me with that incorrect fucking choice of words. That was horrible. She's not the son. She is the daughter of Ric the Nature Boy Flair. Ric Flair most of the time was a heel. Did he have glimpses of a man-on-man type, not like in a gay way. Wow, that did not come out right. Let me just say this. He came as a man that was respectful to his opponents, regardless if he was a heel or not. But at the end of the day, he was revered as a heel. Most of the time he was revered as a heel, not as a face. Charlotte is being revered as a face in WWE, when in reality, she is very much similar to her dad. That's all there is to it. She's given a lot of opportunities in comparison to other women for the Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss is the only one that comes to mind that gets a lot of opportunities for a WWE Women's Championship title. That's it. She's the only one that comes close. Charlotte is always at the top of the game. Have somebody else be at the top. But are we going to see that? Of course not, because we know for a fact that Charlotte is being played out as the real true face to this storyline, even though we get this idea that we're supposed to think that this is, flip-flop, complex, and everything else, when in reality, to the WWE storyline writers, they're telling you Charlotte's face, Becky Lynch is a piece of shit, boo her, cheer for Charlotte. People are not going to do that just because you're telling them to do it. Give them a reason to cheer for Charlotte. Make Charlotte be out of the picture for a long time. Let her not have a fucking title reign for 2 years and see what that gets you. I'm sure you get a different reaction. That's why Becky Lynch is being cheered. She's been in no title picture whatsoever for 2 freaking years and hasn't done anything for 2 fucking years. Give that to Charlotte. See how that works out. Not too well. Not to mention the people would actually get behind it. Because people like the underdog. That is what Becky Lynch is. She's the fucking underdog. That's why people cheer for Daniel Bryan. That's why people will also cheer for AJ Styles. Even though AJ Styles is a very successful wrestler, he is still an underdog compared to other performers. Seth Rollins, same thing, unless he's playing a heel. I mean, I could go on and on listing off of all the different people that are underdogs. Roman Reigns ain't an underdog. He's a guy that's given every opportunity fed his way because he's part of a rich Samoan family in the wrestling business. What do you fucking expect? People to just jump for joy and say, "Ooh, Roman Reigns, I love him. He's such a hard worker." No, he's not. You don't portray him as a hard worker. You portray him as a fucking corporate puppet dumbass that you want people to actually cheer for, when in reality, he works better for you as a fucking heel. Same thing with Charlotte Flair. Same thing with everything else that WWE's been doing. They're forcing the wrong characters down people's throats when people know for a fact if you're not a hard-working guy. Well, I mean, not saying that Roman Reigns can't be a hard worker. I am saying this. He is given corporately everything a wrestler dreams of. Main event spots, world championship matches, fighting with the best names in the WWE business. Same thing with Charlotte. She's given the main event spot every fucking time. And I guarantee you, if somebody, a son or a daughter of Stone Cold Steve Austin came about, and he was given those same opportunities as Roman Reigns, Charlotte, fucking anybody that you can think of that's given corporate leeway to be placed in slingshot to the main event scene just because of somebody they know or they're related to, I'm telling you what, they would get the same fucking reaction. People want people that have actually earned it, not because of who they know or who they're related to. It's fucking bullshit. It's corporate BS. People don't like corporate BS crap. That's all I have to say on this review, guys. It was a decent show. First hour was pretty fucking bullshit at that. Second hour was okay. I actually enjoyed the second hour. But anyway, guys, leave your comments and opinions down below. I know this was a very long review in comparison to other ones I've done in the past. And on top of that, guys, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And if you like this video, hit the like button, alright? Thanks. Bye.